Awesome. So we want to ask you a few questions about iCG. I believe you're going to have a great time just learning about your experience since you joined. So first, what initially attracted you to iCG, and when did you start working with iCG?
So I started in May of 2018. So I'm coming up on my 5 years. And it's funny, I tell this story, so I'll tell it to you. I tell it all the time that I worked for First Data for about 9 years, and I was a regional sales director, started in sales, and I was regional sales director there, supporting the SunTrust Bank relationship. And I had a team of 14 sales reps, and I loved my job. I really did. I moved up quickly there, but I had, great respect from a lot of people. And I said I would never leave First Data ever. I used to say it to people all the time. And I was traveling a lot, and so I'm not a big LinkedIn person. And so I guess I must have been having messages, which I guess from a Jason Estes, who I had no idea who he was, and I just ignored his messages. And so, because I'm not a LinkedIn person and I was never leaving First Data, so I didn't want to really talk to anybody about anything. So my previous manager reached out to me and she said, I think you should talk to this guy. You're traveling to Miami every day, multiple times a week. And, Colin's, just going to be graduating high school. I think it would be good. This is like right in your backyard. I think you should talk to this guy. And so I was like, okay, sure. And so I said, I'm not going to leave First Data though. She's like, just talk to him. And so when I saw who it was, I was a little embarrassed because it was the same Jason Estes that had hit me up a couple times on LinkedIn and that I ignored. And so it was kind of saying, how they say that God will send you a whisper. And if you ignore it, eventually they're going to like tap you on the shoulder and go, hello. And so, so that's what happened. And I met with Jason. And he was just amazing, Jason and Chris, and they opened me up to an entirely different arena of opportunity, to where I didn't know anything about ACH. I felt like they were going to make me competitive in the market. It was a smaller company with a journey that I really wanted to take, and I felt like I could really provide some, value here. And so I resigned the next day. And so, yeah, and I kind of blew everybody. My poor director, he was just like, "What?" And he's really professional. He's my mentor also, and Walter. And he said, "If you can check all the boxes that I've always shared that you should check about an opportunity career for you, then I'm okay with you leaving." So and so now here I am 5 years later. It was a fight, but they tried to put up a fight, and SVP called me and everything, but she said, "You're not going to like it. I've been to a smaller company and you're not going to like it." And I said, "But you did it." And I said, "And look where you are. You're now the SVP of First Data." I said, "So obviously I have to take that journey to see if I do like it." And I saw her at a conference, and I told her that I loved it. So
here I am. Do you regret that decision?
Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. And it's funny, a lot of my colleagues after I left have left, and they're working with me today. And then it took me 2 years, but I actually brought First Data on as a partner, so working with that whole team, and they, I work with a lot of my colleagues and things like that in all different divisions. So, yeah, I do not regret it at all.
That's nice. And how was it for you transitioning from a bigger company to a smaller one?
Great question. I like the fact that, so it comes with its challenges, and then it comes with its rewards. The rewards were that I was actually felt like I had a voice here. And so, and Jason and Chris both, they knew my expertise in the industry. They were very open to helping me, obviously gain traction. The support was amazing. But what happens sometimes is that because it was a small team, I felt like it was really great. So you felt like you were part of a family. You felt like you were having an impact. You were growing something that was, you believed in. When I saw their just what they did and the connections that they have and the solutions that they have, I knew in my heart, because I know merchant services and I know what merchants need. I knew that this company could be really, really great. They were already great as a small company, but I really knew that this was going to be something that, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. And so that was easy for me. The fact that I was excited, passionate, and excited for the journey. What was tough sometimes is that you're coming from corporate that has everything in place. So I had a team of 14, obviously sales reps that I managed.
Yeah.
And then I had, a Salesforce CRM that was, and a whole Salesforce admin that built it and helped me with that. And then I had, different departments, a complete underwriting team and reporting and all that kind of stuff. So I think for me, that was a little bit of a challenge in the beginning. To where we didn't really have that. But it was okay because Jason listened to what I needed. And, I kind of would share things with him that, as our bandwidth increased, these things could be important for iCheck, reporting, visibility. I went from doing, gosh, I don't even know how many calls I had a day, corporate calls, starting at probably 8 o'clock in the morning, a team call with a bank call, with an RVP call, so many calls a day, to coming to a company that the departments were, we could talk to each other and just, we were in the same office. So they really didn't talk to each other. They didn't have team calls or anything like that. And so as we started to grow, I said to Jason, I really think that we need to have departmental calls. And what's really great about this is that as we grew, I could see things starting to be put in place that were important to me that I kind of brought up that we didn't have in the beginning. Like we have this amazing management team now, and we have, a weekly meeting that we collaborate on things. So we didn't have that in the beginning because we didn't have that many people. And so it is so exciting to actually see. So the things that may have been challenges in the beginning for me, I'm starting to see them really, take they're growing and they're being built and created. So yes, there's definitely challenges with bandwidth, technology, obviously, as you're building a new company and things like that. And I would say just having a very small team was my biggest challenge. So I brought Alex on, was one of my sales reps. Alexandra was my sales rep for many, many years. As soon as
Wow.
I signed the offer letter, I called her to come over. And so we've been together for a long time, but it was very, it was very difficult for us to try to really gain traction and, while we're still trying to grow it. So I would say really excited that Kia is here and building out the sales team so that we can really do great things here. So just lots of growth happening, which was very necessary. I knew it was right from the beginning, but it takes time and obviously revenue in order to do that. So
Yeah.
finally
That's good.
seeing it.
Okay. And so that's 5 years with iCG. How do you feel about the iCG's company culture?
Oh, the company culture is fantastic. So, again, coming from corporate where, obviously you had to abide by everything that they did, you didn't really feel like you had a voice. The culture here is completely, the leadership here wants everyone to succeed. And so they want to build their name, but they also want everybody that's, to acknowledge everybody that's a part of that, right? And so I think that's a great culture. It's more of a you're supported. You feel like you're part of a family. There's, we work very, very hard, but we also have a lot of fun. And so, I mean, how can anybody even compare that culture to any? I mean, all of that is just it's fantastic. Culture is the best part of this company.
Very true. What do you enjoy most about your job?
So I love the people, I have to say. So first and foremost, the people for me is the key to this company's success. Everybody is so passionate. They're very willing to work together. So I feel like that and the challenge for me is a big deal. So I love the fact that, obviously you have a great team, but then the challenge, but a challenge is good only if you have the solutions that can get you to where you need to be. And I feel like, and I've always felt like, I always say it, nobody can shine our shoes, I always say, because I feel like iCG has the most powerful solutions for every type of industry. So now all we have to do is just work and bring them on. So that's my favorite part, would be the people and the journey for me.
Brilliant. And that actually leads me to the next question. What do you feel is iCG's greatest strength?
Greatest strength. God, there's so many good ones. So let me, I feel like it's the passion. I have to say the passion. And the reason that I say that is when you have the passion of knowing that your solution and what you're building, the company that you're building, will help businesses, you can achieve anything. And so we have, obviously, we have the passion, and then from there becomes the team to be able to put it all into effect. But if you didn't care about your company and you really didn't care to take the journey and all of that, then you would have nothing. You can't do anything without that. You know, you can hire somebody to build stuff and they have an amazing, you know, obviously every team contributes to the success of this company. You know, so we hired great teams that are doing it, but without the passion and everybody working together, I think everybody in this company has the passion, you know, that they all want the same thing, you know, and that's the biggest strength for me.
I agree that, you know, we have such passionate people here.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, you can always see it from all the calls from, and we're actually getting great results because of that.
Yes, I agree.
So Sallie, do you feel like your skills and abilities are being fully used in your role?
No. I do not.
Right.
And it's not because that anybody's holding me back. It's because of we're not there yet. Right. So remember, I came from, I think they're utilized, and I love when, you know, anything to do with merchant services or questions or pricing, they, you know, like they'll send them to me. You know, Chris will be like, Sallie, you know, I need your help on this, or, you know, can you price this? Can you look at a statement? Can you do that? You know, so I do love the fact that they do come to me for my experience in the industry. I do know operations and what this company needs from an operations standpoint, and I see that's happening also. I think the reason I said no would be that I ran a team of 14 people and supported one of the biggest financial institutions that Fiserv, First Data at the time, SunTrust Bank had. So I was, you know, I was managing multiple different levels. I was looking at reporting. I was managing meeting teams, you know, on on appointments. I was in branches working with, you know, high level branch, you know, executives, you know, talking about strategies to actually drive revenue and more, you know, more merchants to, you know, to the bank and things like that, working with bank teammates. So I feel like I could definitely take this to another level. And I feel like as we're growing, it will definitely get there. I don't think that it's because I just feel like it's limited because we're a limited, you know, a small team. But as it's growing, and I feel like Kia really, he's amazing. He's putting, you know, he's building the team now. He's putting together, you know, strategies, which is important for the growth of a sales team. But Jason knows better than anybody. He told me, I promise, this is what he said to me, I promise you will have the sales team of your dreams someday, is what he told me. And I think he knows that I can handle it. He knows that I can handle managing a, you know, a big sales team and every strategy and looking at reporting and holding accountability and, you know, and seeing what's needed to drive that revenue. So I think once we grow, I will really be able to utilize all of my expertise and my skills for sure.
Okay, and related to that, how do you feel your role has evolved since you started?
Oh, so it greatly has. Again, all due to the journey and as we're scaling. And so again, the role is going to continue to evolve. So I came in coming from, like you said, like I said, a big role. at First Data.
Yeah.
And so where I didn't have that here to start with, but started to grow as much as I could, reaching out to partners, bringing on partners, things like that, understanding the sales process, sales team, sales operations. Now from here, it's continuing to grow because now that we're managing, more people and we need more, we have this marketing team that's bringing us more leads. So there's, it's going to continue to evolve from an operation standpoint, from an experience standpoint. It will definitely evolve. Even just moving my, so it started with Alex and Nate. So at the time, I've talked to them about their career aspirations, but I really didn't have anywhere to move them, because we were small. But I said, hang in there. I know you guys are on the front lines of what we're going to be able to move you into. So again, Alex being moved into handling ISV, head of ISV partnerships, was really something important to me because she's done a great job for me for many, many years. And so just to see her blossom in that is very important. And as a leader, it's important to know that you don't want to keep them here, even though if they're good, you want them to move into something where they can be even better. The same with Nate. We've needed a customer success team for many years. We've talked about it, but we didn't have the bandwidth to do it. Well, now it's being built. So again, it has evolved, and it will. I feel that it will continue to evolve. There's so much more that I can handle here as we grow.
Okay. And I like, I think for most of the discussion, you've mentioned a lot about growth, evolving. So you are the perfect person to have in a sales team because you're so focused on growth.
Thank you. Yes.
So,
yeah, you can't do anything without growth.
Yeah. And as we grow, how do you feel about our company's work-life balances policies?
I feel like the company definitely wants you to have a work-life balance. They talk about it all the time. We work very hard. They don't, they take time to have fun. They'll even do events. We have the internal iCG strong group motivating everybody to do things on a personal level. They even, bring us into their homes, Jason and Nikki bring us into their homes for parties and things like that. I've had parties at my house, Christmas parties at my house. I think from a perspective of work-life balance, like I said, we work very hard, but we have a lot of fun. My case is from a company standpoint, they want you to have a work-life balance. They would never require that I work like I work. It's just who I am. And it wouldn't be my mother, she would say, Sallie, you wouldn't have it any other way. It's just who I am. And, but it's never them dictating that I work, over hours or whatever that looks like. But anytime I need something, I can work in the car, or if I'm on my way to see my son at college, I can work from up there. That's the flexibility. Jason always said, if you're in Disney, you can work from the hotel room, and we do, we all do. And so they're just fantastic about work-life balance. And they know the people when you're passionate and you believe in your company, you want to work. You don't take advantage of them. So
yeah. I agree. There's actually this book I'm reading that is saying that says that for many people who make a change, people who move the needle, most of them are totally obsessed about what they do. So just like you, I've had times when my brother told me that I'm working too much. I've had friends, neighbors. They're like, "Whoa, you can't pull this off." But it just comes. You really, when you're really passionate about something, it doesn't really feel like work sometimes. Actually, you're even more satisfied when you push yourself a little bit and then you see great results from that.
Yes. If you ever want to do a post for me, there's a song called Buy Dirt. It's a country song. It's called Buy Dirt. In that song, it talks about, obviously, the important things in life, but one part of it says, do what you love and call it work. That's the quote. Do what you love and call it work. And every time, and I got chills just saying it because every time I hear that song, I feel like I can honestly say I do what I love and I call it work. So we'll have to do a LinkedIn post for that one day. And a lot of people will definitely relate to that song, and maybe we could put a link to the song or something in there, but that would That's all about what it is.
Exactly. I'll do that. I've written it down. I'll definitely do a post about that. There's a book also called Deep Work by Carl Newport. I
Oh,
love that book. Yeah.
oh, I have to get it.
Yeah, you should get it. There's a part where it says people find satisfaction in work sometimes more than they find in relaxation. So
That would be
there's
me
only
too. Are you sure you didn't write it about me? Because
read it
that
by
is
the
me.
way.
You just said I have. Can you do me a favor and glip that name to me when you get a chance after the meeting?
Okay.
I'm gonna definitely read that. But yeah, I feel like people say, "Oh, you work so hard," and I go, "But I really like it." Like, okay, good. I'm definitely gonna look that up.
Okay, that's great.
Is it
Uh,
he doesn't make it out to be a bad thing though, does he?
no, 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 no. He
Oh,
makes it
good,
out to
good.
be a great thing, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want
Actually,
to read anything that's not going to be positive.
yeah, it will be one of the best books you've ever read. I can promise
Okay.
you that.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. What benefits do you value the most about this job?
Um, so benefits meaning, well, they're, I'm trying to kind of when you think about benefits, you think about a lot of time people will think like pay or healthcare or 401k or whatever. I always go the other way because, my first thing is just, I mean, obviously I need money to obviously pay bills and have a good life, but that's not the first thing that I think of. I always think of that it's the friendships I've made and the team that we have and the people that are in my life that I'm blessed with. I have to say that
Mhm.
that's my first benefit is the blessings that have been brought to me from this team. That would be number one, the first benefit. Um, you know, obviously um, I feel like they're very, very fair, with the salary. I have a great life. I work very hard and I am rewarded for that. So that's great. Um,
Yeah.
but I have to say, they just implemented, obviously they give me enough time. I never take it, but they give me enough time to have family time and vacation time, which I never take, but
Mhm.
or sometimes I do. So that's a
Mhm.
benefit, obviously giving us that time. And then um, obviously they just implemented the 401k, which is really great for retirement purposes. So I think they check all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
Plus there's some more boxes that they check, so yeah.
Okay. I love your number one, the people. So,
Oh, yeah,
how would you
that's it.
describe the relationships you have with your colleagues?
Oh gosh. I mean, like I said, I can't even say enough about that's been my number one the whole way through is the
Yeah.
people that I've made. They're just so caring. I could talk to any of them. They are anytime I'm struggling, they're always there. I don't care if it's in a little glip, they're always there, to support me or, pray for me or, so the relationships, I have a great relationship with I'm pretty sure I do. Anyway, I have a really great relationship with I feel like everyone in the company. And
Yeah.
and I feel like even from a friendship relationship, but more professional and personal. So supportive and just a friend and always there where is needed. But I think even um more so from that would be I actually I like to acknowledge. So I feel like, and when I first came, I feel like acknowledgement was, and this may be another question, I'm not sure. But if you want to just stick with that, and I'll wait till more questions. But
Nope,
um,
you can continue.
keep going. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I feel like they were lacking acknowledgement in this company where I am very, I like to acknowledge good performance or, because I feel like, and I'm not talking about not still holding accountability, obviously for goals and things like that. Very, I've been a leader for many years, so I know what that looks like. But I feel like you can acknowledge good work, to where even if it's simple, loved your post, or, great idea, or you did a great job today, loved your PowerPoint, I mean, if you go back to Glips, and it will be across every department, probably every person in this company, if I felt that they did something that where I felt an impact, or I felt like, wow, they, what a great job, or made me smile, or it could be as easy as making me smile, I will let them know. And so
Yeah.
it will be as simple as in a Glip. So I feel like, and it's always from my heart. It's never fake. I don't do things ever just to gain traction. That has never been me. It's always very, very real. And so I feel like I've built those relationships with them where they know that I truly care about them
Yeah.
and their success here, and I'm there for them, whatever they need, whether it's personally or professionally. We saw it with Ian, I mean, how many of us, connected with each other through, hard times and things like that. So the answer is the team is amazing. I have a great relationship with all of them.
Perfect. Perfect. I totally agree. We have totally the best people. And what do you feel sets iCheck Gateway apart from others that you may have worked with in the past?
The difference is, again, small company to larger company. So from a standpoint of supporting, you have you make an impact because they listen to you. We're all collaborators in the success of this business, so that's huge. Sometimes somebody could be sitting in a corporate company, they could be sitting behind a big desk, and they can be the the CEO or whatever that looks like, and they never
Yeah.
carried the bag. You know what I mean? They never were a
Yeah.
salesperson. They don't really know, and nor do they care to listen,
Yeah.
And so now we have a team of collaborators that, have a voice. And then the solutions. So having the solutions that we have are by far make us unique. And I was going to say makes us competitive in the market, because there's other gateway providers out there. There's other ACH providers. They don't have it all in one place. They don't,
Yeah.
you know, again, it's that's what makes us different is our solutions and the team. Just to keep it simple, that makes us
Oh, okay. Yeah,
definitely
that makes
different
total
and
sense.
competitive in the market, for sure.
Oh, okay. So what inspired you to pursue? Now, this is not about iCG only, just your career, your professional development. What inspired you to pursue your current career path, and how did you get started?
It kind of fell in my lap. And so I was, like I said, I was a builder in Jersey and for many, many years, and I absolutely loved
Yeah.
it. I said it's in my blood. It still is in my blood. Everybody knows, like, I love to build. But I moved to Florida in 2011, and I was going to keep the business in New Jersey, and fly back and forth and manage the jobs. I had a great team. I said, I am only as good as I am because of my team. I will say it in payments, I will say it in building. And so I had a great team of subcontractors there, and I was going to continue the business. But a job came up, and I said, I never, at First Data, and I said, I never worked for corporate in my life. I didn't, go to college. And I said, I've never really worked for a company like that before. And they go, you sell every day though. You sell houses, people love you, and you built a reputation for yourself. Like, you could do the same thing in payments. So I tried it. I figured, why not? Then I wouldn't have to fly back and forth and leave my family and things like that. And so that was in 2011. I started at First Data, and then that's what made me pursue payments. So I really liked it. I was a great salesperson, and then quickly, obviously, moved into a leadership role from there. And then I met Jason, and here I am. But again, being older, obviously, you kind of look at, where do I want my future to go?
Yeah.
And where could it go? And so, I thought about, continuing to build and getting my license down here and build houses, but I've kind of I do it for myself now. I don't want to get back into that. And just seeing what Jason is building, I feel like I still have so much value and haven't even touched the surface on what I can do with this company. And so I feel like I am definitely taking the journey here. And, you know, and I feel, you know, like there's a lot more growth for me here and things that I can transition into in payments. And that's kind of, you know, what I'm looking for my future, you know, to just continue with, you know, iCheck Gateway, and whatever the future holds as far as role, you know, we'll tackle it then. But I feel like I still have a huge runway, you know, to travel on here at iCheck.
That's nice. So we just have like 2 or 3 questions before we
Sure.
finish. What has been the proudest moment in your career?
Oh, my proudest moments. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, in my career, let's see. So, in my career in payments or in my career?
Just what came to your mind first?
Okay. So,
So,
my
yeah.
proudest moment was it was definitely in building. So I really created an amazing company. And so I was a woman in a man's world in construction. And so my proudest moment, I had done a very high-end construction, new construction custom home in Avon by the Sea, New Jersey. And this house was, and there's a couple of them I'll bring up, but this house was it was an energy efficient house. I've never done them before or whatever, but we won an award for this house for
Wow.
being, you know, and so I was recognized at this big, you know, event, and I have a plaque and everything that, you know, for
Congratulations.
yeah, it was really exciting because I was the builder, and again, being a woman builder in a man's world, I just felt like I could do anything, you know. So
Yeah.
that was the one that came like first to my mind. Would have to be that one.
Okay, no problem. It was actually about your entire career, not just iCG. So
Okay, great.
another quick one: if you could swap jobs with anyone in iCG for one day, who would it be and why?
um, well, gosh, that would be hard because I love what I do and I love sales. Um, I would probably, if it was in the cards, to
Yes.
if we had the bandwidth and the money, I would, whoever would be handling this. So we don't really like Chris is chief of, you know, chief operating officer and everything, and he kind of obviously oversees underwriting and support and all of that. But I feel like I wish I was in a position to where we could build out the processes that we need and the reporting that we need and the automation that we need to really make this company run seamlessly, because I feel like we're spending so much time and again, we have to get there, right? We don't have the
Yeah.
bandwidth to do it today. But if there was someone in a position that where I could be in that position and say, and sit in a room with everybody, because I know what the process needs to look like. And somebody would listen to
Yeah.
me and say, okay, this is what the process needs to look like. These are the reports we all need to be looking at every day and things like that. And this is, you know, this is what we need. And I could make that happen. That would be the only thing I would want to do different. I wouldn't want anybody else's job, but that, and so I don't know if that's Jason. Probably is.
Okay.
It probably is Jason. But
This one,
again,
yeah.
you know, I don't know. It probably is Jason at
Right.
that point, or a chief operating officer, you know, like Chris, to where, or even Kia. But I think it would be more like the CEO or the COO that would kind of, you know, obviously say to his other leaders, okay, we're going to sit in a room, we're going to see what processes we need, and we're going to, you know, we're going to see how we can get this done. So, and
Okay.
collaborate about it, and that would be it. So,
Awesome. Awesome.
Jason, look out. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice one. If you had to describe your job only using emojis, which one would you choose? Wow, strong, the cheerleader.
Absolutely. I use it every day, multiple times a day. That and that.
Okay,
Those are my two. My
nice.
prayer and my strength. My
Oh,
faith
wow.
and my strength. And I have a shirt that says faith over fear. And I'll tell you, that's it. It's my faith and my strength.
Wow. I kept hearing faith over fear in 2020 when ICG, sorry, when COVID was announced to be a pandemic, many
Yeah.
Christian pastors were like, hey, faith over fear, choose faith over fear. So that's a really good one.
Yeah. I've never been scared of anything. I've always, my brother used to say, I don't know how you sleep at night, because I would take risks and I would just, because I felt passionate about things, and I would just, I wouldn't say I don't feel fear, but I will go after it. I am super strong.
Nice. And you will choose faith.
And I would choose faith for sure. Always faith guides me there.
Nice. Okay. So that would be all. Is there anything you would want to add about your experience that maybe I've not asked, but you feel led to?
No, I think you covered everything. I think you covered the good and, the things that are going to get better, and, just leadership. And no, I think it's great. I look forward to the future. I love the journey. And and I'm excited to use some of that in the LinkedIn post with you. So look forward to it.
Fantastic. Okay, thank
Okay,
you. Thank you very much, Sallie, for your time. Thank you for answering
of
these
course.
questions. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you so much.
Same here.